Ah, imposter syndrome. That nagging feeling that you're just not quite up to scratch, that you're faking it, that you're a fraud. It's a condition that affects countless people, from those starting out in their careers to seasoned professionals at the very top of their game. And if you're anything like me, you'll know that it can be a real pain in the proverbial. But what exactly is imposter syndrome? Well, put simply, it's the feeling that you don't really deserve your success, that you've somehow managed to pull the wool over everyone's eyes, and that any moment now, you're going to be found out. It's a bit like the feeling you get when you're a teenager and you sneak into a club with a fake identification. You're convinced that someone's going to tap you on the shoulder and say you're not old enough to be in here. Of course, in reality, most people with imposter syndrome are more than capable of doing their jobs. They've worked hard, they've put in the hours, and they've earned their success. But that little voice in their head just won't shut up. It's like having a tiny Simon Cowell perched on your shoulder, telling you that you're not good enough and that you'll never make it. So why do so many of us suffer from imposter syndrome? Well, there are a few different factors at play. For starters, it's often down to our upbringing. If you were raised in an environment where perfection was the only acceptable standard, or where failure was seen as a personal failing, then it's no wonder that you might feel like a fraud when things start going well for you. Another factor is the culture of comparison that we're all living in these days. Social media has made it all too easy to compare ourselves to others and to feel like we're falling short. It's like a never-ending game of keeping up with the Kardashians, except without the plastic surgery. So what can we do about imposter syndrome? Well, the first step is to recognize that it's a real thing and that you're not alone in feeling this way. Remember that everyone feels like a fraud sometimes, even those people who seem to have it all together. Secondly, try to focus on your achievements and your strengths, rather than your weaknesses. It can be all too easy to dwell on the things you're not good at, but that's a surefire way to feed that little Simon Cowell on your shoulder. And finally, try to be kind to yourself. Recognize that you're only human, and that it's okay to make mistakes. In fact, it's often through our failures that we learn the most as individuals. So, there you have it, folks. Imposter syndrome might be a pain in the proverbial, but it doesn't have to control your life. Remember to be kind to yourself, focus on your strengths, and tell that little Simon Cowell to take a hike. You got this.